Hey guys, I'm Derek. This is Heroic Review, and today I'm going to rank all of Ant-Man's MCU fight sequences. So to start things off, I have Ant-Man's training montage from Ant-Man 1. We see him learning to use his powers, and at a certain point, he comes to blows with the Falcon, which I thought was a really good tie-in to the MCU. So while this scene was pretty fun to watch, it was still kind of inconsequential. So that's why I have it ranked in last place. Up next, I have the car chase sequence from Ant-Man and the Wasp. This scene was cool. You get to see some of the vehicles changing size from large to big and back again. I thought it came to a kind of lackluster end with Scott turning into Giant Man and then passing out in the water. So that's why it's in 8th place. Up at number 7 from Ant-Man and the Wasp, I have Ghost and the Wasp introduction. So in this scene, it was cool because the Wasp was a whole badass. You get to see her like running up knives and, tossing giant salt shakers at people. We don't really get to see much cool stuff from Ant-Man in this one. It was really about Wasp and Ghost. When we get to see Ghost pop up, her powers were just like really cool to watch. And she was pretty tough too. So that's why I have that one ranked where I do. So at number 6, I have all the time travel stuff from Avengers Endgame. It was cool to see Scott be kind of the catalyst for the Avengers plan to finally beating Thanos. While it was his plan, you don't really get to see him do that much once they do get to their time traveling. It was cool to see him shrinking down and jumping into Iron Man's arc reactor to, cause him to go into cardiac arrest. But that's really about all you get from him in this scene. So that's why it's where it's at on the list. At number 5, I have the Avengers assembling against Thanos. This is an iconic scene for the Avengers and for that movie. We get a cool moment with Ant-Man where he kind of turns into Giant Man amongst all the people charging Thanos. Everybody else is small and he's just the one big giant guy punching those little air serpent people in the face. While all that was cool and it was an epic scene, that's really all we got from Ant-Man in this scene. So that's why I couldn't rank it any higher. At number 4 from Ant-Man 1, I have Scott's first outing with the Ant-Man suit. In this scene, it was really cool to see him shrinking for the first time, getting to see that effect for the first time. You see how dangerous even some of the mundane things in the world could be when you're at that size. Even, for instance, when he shrinks down in the bathtub, like that's kind of a giant set piece right there. So this was a really cool scene. And so while it was really cool to see all of that, there wasn't any real fighting. So that's why this scene is where it is on the list. So at number 3, I have the airport rumble from Captain America Civil War. We all knew he was going to turn into Giant Man at some point, so that moment was a real standout. We also get to see him riding one of Hawkeye's arrows, and it was also cool because it was just his first outing with the Avengers. But Ant-Man wasn't the focus of this scene, so that's why I put it at number 3. Then at number 2, I have the break-in to Pymm Technologies lab from Ant-Man 1. In this scene, we get to see him like running up a gun, running through an architectural model with like bits flying. We get to see all the good things that we like to see from Ant-Man, from him growing and shrinking and all that kind of stuff. It had this really cool, tense finale in the chopper with Darren Cross, with them growing and shrinking and fighting back and forth in the chopper. And I really enjoyed this scene. And then Ant-Man's best action fight sequence so far is still the train set battle with Yellow Jacket from Ant-Man 1. This scene was so cool because it just seemed like a huge set piece, him and Yellow Jacket fighting it out. But then when they pan out, you see that they're really just fighting on his daughter's train set. It had all kinds of just stakes and danger. Yellow Jacket was threatening his daughter, so that's when things get serious. You get to see giant ant at a certain point, giant train, lots of cool stuff. We get our first encounter really with the quantum realm here as well. So this is still Ant-Man's best scene so far in the MCU. How would you rank Ant-Man's fight scenes? Let me know in the comments, and be sure to like and subscribe.